Ever wondered what happens when you just disappear from someone's life? I'm not talking about a slight pullback or distancing yourself. No, I mean completely vanishing. No texts, no calls, no social media posts, no contact. Imagine disappearing completely. How would they really feel when you're gone? We live in a world where people think they can take others for granted. They assume you'll always be there, always waiting for them, always responding. But what happens when you flip the script and disappear completely? Well, I promise you their world will fall apart. Welcome to the most important video you'll watch today. Trust me, stick with me till the end. And I'll reveal why walking away and never looking back could be the most powerful move you ever make. Now, let's talk about something that hits deep. Something that people rarely talk about but fear the most. What happens when you simply vanish from their life? We're going through 10 powerful emotional stages that someone goes through when you leave. By the end of this, you'll understand why disappearing might just be the best choice for you. Stage 1. The sting of rejection. It starts with a sharp pain. A sting they never saw coming. They thought you'd always be there, didn't they? They assumed you were the one who would always put in the effort, the one who cared, the one who showed up. But the second you disappear, it's like someone just ripped away their safety net. They might not admit it right away, but deep inside, they feel rejected in a way they never expected. Why? Because it's not just about you disappearing physically. It's about everything you represented. You represented comfort, validation, stability, and security. And now, all of that is gone. When you vanish, you're not just taking yourself away. You're taking all the emotional support you provided with you. You're leaving them with a void they never thought they'd have to deal with, and that stings deeply. Stage 2. The void of missing humans. The initial sting fades. A new feeling creeps in. It's emptiness. It's a deep, gnawing emptiness that they can't ignore. They didn't think they'd miss you, did they? In fact, they'd probably convinced themselves they'd be fine without you. But the truth is, nothing fills the void you left behind. They start going through their day, going through the motions, and suddenly they realize something's missing. They feel off, like there's a piece of their puzzle missing, and that piece is you. What they failed to realize when they were with you is that they took your presence for granted. They thought they could replace you, find someone else who could bring the same energy, the same emotional balance you provided, but guess what? They can't. They try to fill that gap with distractions, other people, work, hobbies, but it never works.
Ow.
It only makes them feel worse. The void only deepens day by day, and the longer they go without you, the bigger that hole gets. Stage 3. Overwhelming curiosity. Know that you're gone. A new feeling starts to take over. Curiosity, and let me tell you, it's overwhelming. First, they can't stop wondering where you are, what you're doing, and most importantly, who you're with. Without you in the picture, they become obsessed with finding out what you're up to. Social media stalking, you bet. They'll scroll through your posts, reread old messages, try to find any clue about your life. But here's the thing, you're silent. No updates, no stories, no posts. And that silence drives them insane. Why? It's because they can't stand the unknown. They might even start asking mutual friends about you, trying to get any kind of information. Maybe they'll ask about your mood, your plans, or whether you're seeing someone else. But they won't admit it. They won't confess that they're desperate to know. They're curious, and it's eating them alive. Stage 4. Deep self-reflection. After a while, curiosity evolves into something else. Self-reflection. This is where things get really tough for them. They start looking inward. The guilt starts to build, and it's overwhelming. They'll start asking themselves the hard questions. Was I too cold? Did I push them away? Was I distant? Did I mess things up beyond repair? The regret comes crashing in. You remember every moment they neglected you, every time they ignored your calls, every time they dismissed your feelings. Now, without you around, they have nothing left but their own guilt. And here's the kicker. They can't blame you anymore. There's no argument, no one to blame but themselves. They start replaying every interaction, every conversation, every moment you spent together. And the truth hits them harder than ever. They messed up. Stage 5. The urge to pursue. Yano, we hit the turning point. After all that self-reflection, something changes. The emotional panic starts to shift into desire. The desire to get you back. They start chasing you. They send those text messages. I've been thinking about you. They like your old photos. They comment on things you posted months ago, just hoping you'll bite. But here's the thing, they're chasing a ghost. You're not the same person anymore. You're not available for them to just walk back into your life whenever they feel like it. They've lost their power over you, and that terrifies them. Stage 6. The battle between relief and regret. This is where the emotional roller coaster takes a sharp dive. At first, they might feel relieved. Freedom. A sense of independence. I don't have to deal with them anymore, they might think. But the relief is short-lived. When they're out with their friends or trying to distract themselves with other people, they might feel a moment of peace. But once they're alone, the regret starts to hit like a ton of bricks. They realize the freedom they felt was actually just an illusion. Without you, they feel emptier. And they start questioning their decisions. What was I thinking? Why did I let them go? Stage 7. The desire to play the game and regret sets in. They try to take control again. And how do they do that? Games. They'll start playing mind games. Posting things online, trying to make you jealous. Maybe they'll act distant on purpose. They'll try to make you wonder if they've moved on or if they're happy without you. But you know what? You don't play that game anymore. You've outgrown it. Their petty attempts to get a reaction from you are nothing but noise. When they see you're not responding, when they realize their manipulations aren't working, it drives them insane. Stage 8. The crushing weight of silence. And here comes the hardest part for them. The silence. Your absence speaks louder than anything you could ever say. When you don't respond, when you don't chase after them, they realize just how heavy the silence is. They start thinking back to all the times they ignored you, all the moments they pushed you away. And now, they would give anything to hear from you. Silence becomes their punishment. Stage 9. The fear of losing you forever. No, they're terrified. The reality of losing you forever starts to sink in. They wonder, what if I've lost them for good? They'll do anything to get you back. They might send long, apologetic messages. They might show up unannounced at your door. But you've already made your decision. You're stronger now. You've moved on. And they need to face that. You're not an option anymore. Stage 10. The realization of emotional independence. And finally, they realize the truth. You've learned to stand on your own. You no longer need their approval. You don't need anyone to complete you. You've reclaimed your emotional independence, and they feel it too. You know you're no longer the person they once knew. You're stronger, more confident, and you're not looking back. The tables have turned. You've broken free from the cycle. And now, their opinion means nothing to you. You've reclaimed your power. You've learned your worth. And now, you'll never be an option again.